Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your general tarot card reading for the second week of June. So Scorpio, let me begin. So the overall theme of that week, Scorpio, for you we have Four of Cups. And I'm going to try to find something for you to just literally show you what I mean. Give me a second. Because I really would like you to see on what you're missing out. Okay, I have it. So, this is Four of Cups, and for four usually, if you're going to think about it, and I'm very visual, when I see four I see square, and square is something that is very stable and very secure, but equally square for me represents some kind of form of being stagnant, and four is representing in this particular card stagnation. And because we have a cups are representing emotion, so it's like emotional stagnation, it's unfulfillment, it's not being happy with what we have. And as you can see, the lovely gentleman is sitting here leaning against this beautiful tree. There's a lot of growth, a lot of green around this gentleman, and we have the three chalices over here. And this nice gentleman kind of have the expression of boredom on his face. He has those three cups, but he's kind of like, whatever, they're there. And there is a life offering this very nice gentleman a cup. And this is actually representing, this way how I see it. That's how my imagination goes. That's how I see it in my mind's eye. It's Ace of Cups. You see, there is this hand extending from the cloud, offering something. And Eight of Cups is a beginning. Aces, they represent one, they're beginning, they're creation of something. They can represent love, they can represent happiness, any kind of sort of emotions, right? And this person, you Scorpio, that's the theme of this week for you. You are kind of emotionally stuck. You are focusing on, you have certain things. You might be, okay, they're kind of okay. I don't really think that you actually appreciate fully what you have. And life is saying, hello Scorpio, like poking you like, hello, look. There's some possible opportunities here. There are things that you might actually enjoy because you cannot see for what they are, because you would like things being set in a way, being precisely in the way how you envisage them. You kind of death. You know, that's kind of whatever life is trying to offer you, give you, is like falling on your deaf ears. So this is all about you getting unstuck, emotionally unstuck. And that's the theme for this week for you, Scorpio. In terms of you, the Page of Wands is representing you this week, and I pulled the clarifier on top of that, so we have strength that is clarifying this. And I think I just want to kind of explain what is going on here. I don't know how. Okay, let me run with this, Scorpio, and then I'm going to kind of try to explain this. So Page of Wands kind of represent beginning of some kind of endeavor. There might be a job, there might be you starting a new phase in your life, you might be learning something, you're very eager to learn something, but then you kind of overwhelmed. It's almost like you don't know how you're going to manage certain things. You don't know what you're actually going to learn, if that's going to be worthwhile. It's like you kind of going back on yourself in a way, because next to those cards, we have a Two of Wands. So you see, he's holding to this wand, the Page of Wands. It's showing this kind of beginning of something. There might be a learning, and that might be some kind of either daunting task or it's going to representing that you need some kind of strength to have a confidence within you, to believe in yourself, to have a more Scorpio, to see things through, even though they might appear to be very daunting. There might be some kind of daunting task ahead of you. Or you don't think that you have it within you. You might not feel that you're able to do it. And then we have those Two of Wands, so you're thinking, have I taken the right direction? Have I made the right decision? Because this nice gentleman is standing here, that's Two Wands, he's holding to one, has a world in his hand, and is looking forward to the new opportunities, new directions. It's almost as if you or this person is looking into what my options are, what my opportunities that are out there, and it's looking at something that is not able quite see or visualize. And this might come across being very daunting. It's almost like you would have to have this belief you can do it. Can you see? That's you, Page of Wands. The strength, the taming of your inner fears, managing your own it's like the mental strength, the emotional strength is needed in order for you to kind of reach your goal. And having the strong belief, if you're going to see, and I'm going to want to show you this again, because this is different type of energy here, but it kind of links with the skills and ability, and it's something to do with skills and ability, I feel. So I would like to show you this in order to kind of explain to you a little bit better, if possible, providing I'm going to find the honourable fellow over here. Give me a second. Surely I found him. You see, the Magician of here also have an infinity sign. An infinity sign, it's all about this idea, this creative idea. And as you can see, the Magician over here has a coin, chalice, a wand and a sword over here, and has all those skills. And then you need this mental strength to overcome your fear, but it's actually nothing for you to fear. It's almost like battling with yourself. It's about trying it out and see how it feels. It's like you believing in what is it you chose to do. It's the right thing. You know it's the right thing, but it might come across scary or daunting. But it's almost like when you're going to overcome your lack of confidence sometimes in some of your cases, or overcome your fears, things going to start moving. And this leap into something new, looking into the new possibilities, might come from some kind of, you see there's a King of Wands King of Wands and 9 of Swords. So it's almost like you finish one cycle. I don't know if that is to do with job or whatever it might be. It might be even the cycle of what you have learned. And that cost you quite a lot. That cost you a lot of effort. And something that you done or you finished came at the great price. Maybe you become more wary, you maybe become, you got anxious, or you started having signs of depression, even though you might never had depression before, or something that is, you were faced with something that was mentally quite draining. And maybe because of the previous experience you had, you might feel you're not quite up to the task, but this is not true. This is not true at all. And because of that, you are emotionally becoming that stagnant. You are afraid of feeling emotions, and you kind of going into this hermit mode, Scorpio, where you're looking for answers. You want to know, you want to understand why, you want to understand the purpose, you want to kind of understand it all, because you might not have that clarity. You might not have that clarity about where you would like to be, what you would like to achieve, and where you would like to see yourself. So it's almost like you need that clarity, and you're going to look for it. But this is kind of, it's almost the past has the bearing on now, and might have a possible bearing on the future. But what the cards they're trying to tell you, what was past, it was past. The past experiences, you kind of went through that mill, and this is done. But it's no point for you to kind of drag behind whatever emotional or negative baggage. Is the cards here to tell you it was tough, but it's done. It's not, there's no need for you to reminisce. Try to detach yourself from that. It's not detach in terms of not acknowledge, because it's for you to acknowledge and know what was the cost of doing what you have done was, of course. But this is not about, it's about drawing the positive and seeing the silver lining instead of focusing on how hard it was. Because you have to acknowledge, yes, it was hard, but focus more on positive. It's almost like if you're going to focus on negative and you're going to bring that negative into now, it's going to have a knockoff effect on the now and your future. So it's all about being constructive. I'm hearing being constructive. And in terms of relations and relationships in general, your life, and your kind of root from where you're coming from, Scorpio, it's Ten of Cups. It's beautiful, it's wonderful. It doesn't have to necessarily represent you and your family. It might represent you and your friends, but it's somewhere that you feel happy and appreciated. So somewhere where you have that kind of place where you can go and you can be you, and you can kind of forget about whatever, you know, daily struggles or problems at work you might have. So this is very good. And you have this kind of outlet, if that is form of your family, or if the form of your friends, or form of your partner, that is great. But what they say, try to release that pain, try to unstuck yourself. Scorpio, basically the second week of June, is saying try to unstuck yourself. Don't drag that hard experience that you had with you. It's try to imagine this as a experience on which you can build on and draw from. You're more than capable. Just try to, if that is a stress or you're overwhelmed by the situation, and you might be, it's not like you necessarily taking a new leap of faith over here. It's all about overcoming your own limitations. Let's put it this way. And when you're going to do it, you're going to feel, you're going to have that, you're going to ask yourself, like, why have I done it to myself? You'll be perfectly fine. Honestly, you'll be perfectly fine. If you would like to go and see and understand why certain things happened in the past, you can. But once again, it's to understand the process, but not dragging those emotions or those negative thoughts with you, if you're trying to understand it. So, what else we have here? We have additional commentary. Yeah, new things that are being born in pain, basically. But it's about you, how painful you're going to make it. It's your call how difficult or easy things going to be. It's absolutely your call. You have a choice. It isn't like you don't have a choice in this matter. It's up to you. Everything has its own price. But sometimes when we're in painful situation, we are forgetting about. No, I'm going to try to explain it a little bit better. Sometimes we believe that we have to pay a certain price for it, or we envisage some things being difficult, but sometimes it's only our perception, our projection, our inner belief. So this is to question yourself. Do you really want to put yourself through something that is difficult? Obviously, things that might be difficult and not easy at the beginning, but it's up to you how easy or difficult you're going to make it. I hope it makes sense to you, Scorpio. Well, that was quite interesting reading. A lot of things for you to ponder about. If you liked it, give it a like, comment, share. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we'll speak to each other soon.